Hello everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at my first Outer Rookies Low Fuel Motorsports race. This was the Kipper GT3 Sprint Series. This was around the Nürburgring. This was race number 12333. This took place on February 14th, and we were in split 2 for this one. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, let's go ahead and get stuck in. So we're qualified in P6 here. And we're going to try and take this, again, this is our first race out of rookies, so we're going to take it nice and easy. We're now racing with the big boys. So try and take it nice and easy into T1 here. Looking around the outside, looks like we've got quite a few cars going up the inside. Looks like we're about to get mugged by the two McLarens here. As we now hold the inside into T2 and then into T3 to exit out of the stadium section. Looks like we're going to try to follow the white McLaren up the inside here, see if the Ferrari gets stuck on an island, and then we also got the black McLaren behind us too. But it looks like we can run a little wide. Shoot, so we're out on the marbles there, and we get mugged by the McLaren as well. So I got to be honest, my first time being out of the LFM rookies was really impressed with opponents' racecraft and also their just common sense and. There was minimal contact in this race, which was awesome. Just a lot of good, clean racing fun. Quite a few moves were done, so just made the race really enjoyable. So I appreciate everyone that took part. As we could send one up the inside of the McLaren here, I was assuming that he was going to brake a little early, especially with cold tires on the outside. I'd done kind of in my qualifying, I'd warmed up on cold tires, that braking point there, and I knew that I had a decent braking point. But with that, we take an absolute shocker of a line through the Schumacher S. We hold the inside here to make sure the McLaren goes around the outside, time up a braking point right. It's so easy to brake a little late there, but we get the braking done right, and we managed to keep the McLaren behind us. So let's now turn our attention towards the Ferrari here, but the McLaren is still looking tasty behind us. As we come up here into the hitting our braking point just before the 50, looks like we broke a little teep or just didn't get the nose turned in quite a bit. We're gonna have the McLaren mug us up. Oh, McLaren backs out. Thought he was gonna do a move up the inside there, but we kind of show him a bit of a lean in. I mean, it did have to turn in for the corner at some point. I'm not gonna say that he shouldn't have gone for the move there, because I may or may not have. Me being an aggressive, almost non-rookie, but. With that, oh, as the McLaren gets nice and close to us behind us there, that was an absolute nail biter. When I saw that, I released the brake a little bit, and I was like, oh, dude, please, sir, I beg your mercy. But all right, let's turn attention here to the Ferrari, try and suss out kind of what we're seeing in terms of where his strengths are, where his weaknesses are. Seems like the Ferrari had really good rotation in this race, so it's gonna be difficult to hang with him through the stadium section. Although the Mercedes is not terrible through there, it kind of some of the acceleration zones it struggles a little bit, but in terms of low speed maneuverability, it's actually pretty decent, especially with the setup that I'm running here. We're gonna look up the inside of the Ferrari, but we're not gonna get too aggressive here. We're gonna show him the nose. He gives us racing room, which is awesome. It was and we got a little bit better of an exit through there. Car rotate a little bit better. Looked like he got a little bit marbles as well. So we're going to head up through the Schumacher as Ferrari gets a little bit worse of a run than we do. Hit our braking point here. A little bit late on the brakes, but not terrible. Managed to squeeze it up. Let's see if we can get a good exit out of here. Car rotates decently well there. We're able to get on the power relatively early. Okay, so two clean. The first move on the McLaren was a little bit forceful. But again, I had practiced that move in qualifying in terms of my braking point. The second move on the Ferrari I thought was really clean. I do favor that braking point, or that double right-hander as an overtaking spot. I've kind of found a lot of success with overtaking there, but again, you really have to make sure that the guy in front understands that is something that you are going to go for. And if they cover the inside, then there's no hope of you trying to hold something around the outside unless you have godsend abilities. But with that here, we're going to head on down into T2. Looking like the McLaren and the BMW in front are getting a little spicy. But so far, a successful first try as a graduated rookie from the LFM series. So I've been really doing a lot of setup work with the Mercedes here. I actually recently downloaded one of the Hymo setups. Had to kind of play around with it a little bit. I found that I was still getting a lot of wheel spin out of low speed corners, and then also had a little bit of rear end instability in terms of medium and high speed braking. And actually one of the things that I did to help kind of figure that out was actually just reduce a bit of rear toe. The front toe I still have it at a max negative, but I've actually started to reduce the rear toe a little bit, and that seems to have, it does hinder a little bit of the low speed turning, but what it does is it really makes up for high speed stability under the brakes. And then also in terms of low speed traction out of corners, someone recommended I turn traction control up to 6, and that's definitely done wonders in terms of just getting the power down and being a little bit more careful. It does seem that my driving style is a little throttle heavy, and I like to rotate the car on throttle. As we make a pretty big mistake there into the chicane, let's see if the Ferrari starts to get a little spicy. See, you know, I'm still a rookie at heart, still making rookie mistakes here. I think I'm always good for 1 to 2 decent rookie mistakes per race. That's just gonna be, you know, until I get a lot more experience with the game and kind of genuinely start to increase my abilities. But in terms of lap times, you know, we're turning out pretty decent times here. I was relatively happy with my pace over the course of the race. So we got Careless in P1 there. He's got a pretty decent gap to Gilo in P2, followed by sorry, Jukla. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. And then we got Poe right ahead of us, and then behind us we got Bourgeois, potentially Paysan and Drebin. But like I said, I was you know, as a first time regular season LFM driver, I was really impressed with the quality of racing here. Everyone seemed to leave racing room. That T1 was fairly clean. I mean, obviously, you know, in every T1, T2, especially at the Nürburgring, you're gonna have some sort of violence, especially coming out of T2. But as a whole, I thought it was a decent start to the race, and I was really impressed with kind of the quality of drivers in this field. As we see the McLaren go wide, oh, we gotta check up on the brakes, and that's gonna make us vulnerable to the Ferrari behind here. We're gonna try to stay out of his way, give him the track, and see if we can hold our line, but it's gonna be really difficult. He's got the run on the inside here. We're gonna hit our braking point, gonna try and hold it around the outside. Ferrari backs out. Appreciate that, man. Bourgeois being safe there and allowing us to maintain our place, but unfortunate for fortunate for the McLaren in front of us there for Poe. That was a tough way to exit that right-hander, but something that's very easy to do is so yeah, so we're kind of setting, you know, high 55s right now. I have done a couple different line choices that actually have really improved my time around this track. Been able to get it kind of into the mid to low 55s, which has been great. It's amazing though how just little mistakes can add up to time, right? Like, and if you guys see any glaring issues, please comment and let me know what else I can do to improve my driving around the Nürburgring besides just general consistency. I'm aware that that's something that I need to work on, and that's just going to come with time, practice, and experience, right? I'm still in the process of getting used to these kind of races and racing with a field of kind of similar pace drivers and kind of racing in close quarters. It's something that I really enjoy, but also I'm not that experienced in. So I've been really trying to kind of improve my driver kind of safety and awareness when I'm around other drivers, especially when we're driving kind of at a similar 95 to 100% pace, right? As we have another shocker at the Schumacher. But so now we got Jukla ahead of us here. We're going to try and hunt him down, but it looks like he's got decent pace. He's been fairly consistent. I know the McLaren before he had the spin was harassing them a little bit, so it looks like we'll be able to hopefully close the door a little bit, but we're going to try our best to make up the ground on him. But so far, sitting P4, pretty happy with my performance. I thought the moves, it was a good save not to run into the back of the McLaren. And then the other two moves, I think, were strong but fair. But that's, you know, it's a part of racing, right? You got to find a way to make your way through the field. So So we see behind us here, Bourgeois and Paysan are going neck to neck here. We see kind of in the rearview mirror there. What we can do is, while this fight's kind of being stagnant, let's go on board with them and see how they're doing. We got Paysan right behind Bourgeois here. Ooh, he's a little wide there. Both the Ferrari and McLaren seem to have pretty decent pace around here. Oh, as we see the Ferrari running a little deep, but nice cut back there, able to maintain his speed mostly, but seeing McLaren gain a little bit of ground on him. Oh, is the McLaren gonna have a peak? He's got the line up the inside. Ferrari's gonna try and hold it around the outside. Doesn't McLaren outbrake himself? No, he hits his apex perfectly. Nicely done, Paysan. The Ferrari runs a little wide there, and he's gonna allow the McLaren to kind of escape away a little bit. So, nicely done by Paysan there. See if the Ferrari has another move. Job well done. Well done, sir. On board with us again. So we're finally starting to close the gap a little bit here to Juclo. We got 1.5 seconds. Really struggling with understeer there. It really kind of is line dependent, and also getting the car rotated early in that corner. Or else you kind of struggle with understeer both in T2 and T3. And I've really been trying to work on my line through that right-hander there coming out of the stadium section. It's something that I definitely struggle with. I either get the car too rotated, and then I'm kind of if you can use that inside curb, you can really rotate the car on that curb, I found. It really does help with kind of exit, especially with kind of helping the Merc get rotated there and getting the throttle down. But also, if you cut the corner too much, then it bounces the car wide, and then that really easily can either give you a off track. So we're on lap 7 now. Looks like we've closed the gap to Juclo, now within less than a second here. Let's see what we can do coming out of T4 there. Seems to be getting pretty good exits out of there. In this race, we definitely had a pretty decent pace. Obviously, the leader was a bit out of our grasp today, but maybe with a little bit better of a qualifying spot, we could have been fighting for potentially P2. But I've been really happy with the performance so far in terms of working my way through the field, and now having this fight here for P3. As we again run wide onto the Schumacher S. That's a line I was kind of struggling with for some reason today. I'm not sure if it's just kind of my where my eyes are looking or what, but yeah, we seem to be struggling a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and whip it forward here to lap 10. Let's take a look at the gaps now. So we're still kind of hanging within that. We've been hovering right around the 1 second mark to Juclo there. Whether it be mistakes on his part or my part, we kind of had a little bit of back and forth, but kind of rubber banding on each other around a second there. In terms of the state of the field, we still got Careless in P1, followed by Juclo in P2, and then Juclo and myself P3-4, followed by Bourgeois and Drebin, and Paysan in P7. So it looks like 5, 6, and 7 really been battling all race as well, and then myself and Juclo here have been fighting as he gets a little bit loose there coming out of the exit. Are we gonna have a look? Let's see. See a little bit of rubber banding going on with the connection. We're gonna go at our normal braking point here. He does a good job of showing us the inside, but also giving us racing room, but he hits his braking point that he needs, but now we're much closer. Let's see if we can follow him through the S. Seemed like the BMW is just able to ride the S a little bit better than we were today. That's probably because of me, my line choice. I'm not going to blame the car here. That's definitely my driving. Gonna see the BMW get a little bit wide there, so we can get a better exit. Oh, we run wide. Able to rotate the car a little bit on throttle, but still ran a little bit wide there. Definitely compromised our exit a little bit. As we head down to the chicane here, let's see if we can hit the chicane nice and clean. A little bit better of a chicane from us. Get nice and close to him on the brakes. Oh, a little bit oversteer on exit though. That definitely kills your run down into turn 1. It looks like our best lap this race so far was a 55.2. I'm pretty happy with that pace, honestly. Definitely been consistently getting faster and faster around here. I've had quite a few races, as you guys probably seen from the channel name, around the Nürburgring GP circuit, and with that, been really kind of able to hone in my my driving style and also just kind of the setup work on this car, so we get nice and familiar with the rear end of this Beamer. Are we gonna have a look into the left-hander here? I'm gonna show him a nose. We're not gonna go for anything too aggressive. He hits his braking point perfectly. Nicely done, sir. And unfortunately, we're not able to capitalize on Jukla's mistake there. He would make mistakes, but then once we'd kind of get on him, he was very consistent and kind of stuck with his line. So it was really difficult to kind of exploit any mistakes. And it didn't seem like we had the pace advantage over him to be able to do any significant kind of maneuvers. So rather than be a complete rookie and try and send something on him, I wanted to see if I could bide my time and try and force the issue through a little bit more of a thought out move. But fortunately, we'll see if we can make something happen with the time remaining. Looks like we're just about to finish up lap 11 here. And again, he makes a little bit of a mistake on that chicane. Oh, we run. We can't capitalize at all because we run really deep there, and he gets a pretty decent last corner exit. And unfortunately, we're back at the good old second mark. Really trying to stay close to him through turns 2, 3, and 4, just to see if maybe we can line up the move out of my favorite overtaking spot, the double right-hander. See if we can get a good exit out of here. Oh, again, we run wide. Just in the points where, you know, we think we started to have a bit of a run on him, I'd make some kind of mistake or just run a little bit wide, and would throw away then the following straight where I can attack. Yeah, just enough consistency to be able to stay out here. So props to Jukla. Well played, man. Well driven. So that car in front of Jukla, that's actually a back marker. That is not P2, I believe. I believe P2 is actually what's they're going through. Yeah, that chicane. So not the black car, but the white one in front of it. As we see Jukla go wide again, he's gonna have a poor exit for the final corner. Seems like the BMW is getting really good exits though at a slow speed corners, and unfortunately that's one of the Merc's weaknesses. The TC's helping a bit, but let's see if we can have room. Again, a little bit of rubber banding coming down to T1 here. He times up his braking, goes a little bit deep. We're gonna see if we can work around the outside here. He's gonna hold the inside, so we're gonna look, see if we can kind of rotate the car up the inside. He carries the line around the outside, and unfortunately he gets just a little bit too good of an exit. We're right on his bumper here. Let's see if we can stick with him through the right-hander. As the back marker gets out of our way, thank you very much, sir. Unfortunately, Jukla seemed to pull a bit of a gap while getting around the back marker. We get really good rotation there through that corner, but a little bit of oversteer on exit. Hindered our exit, and again, we're the BMW is really getting good exits out of there. We try and roll the throttle on a little bit more there, see if we can reduce the wheel speed, cool the tire temps a little bit. Unfortunately, we've kind of just lost a little bit of ground to Jukla here. Not been our finest lap so far. Let's see if we can nail the final chicane here. We nail it pretty good. Get a little bit oversteer on exit. I got a little bit of rubber band in here. I thought we were closer than we were, but unfortunately he's pulling a bit of gap on us. Not sure if he's close enough to go for a dive in a T1 here. We're gonna go just hit a braking point again. Again, he times his braking point better this time, and unfortunately he's able to stay ahead. All right, so we're coming out of the right-hander. It looks like Jukla makes a bit of an error there, a little bit of oversteer. Let's see if we can stay with him through the S. A little bit better on Arn, but again, he starts to just pull that, you know, 3 to 5 car lengths on us. Unfortunately, that just really hinders our ability to do impose anything serious on him. So coming out the final corner here, looks like it's gonna be the checkered flag. But a really great race. Thank you, Jukla, for making it a really enjoyable experience. I really enjoyed that race. My first true LFM race around the Nürburgring in the sprint series, and that was, yeah, a really enjoyable race. Jukla drove a fantastic race. Congratulations to you, man, on P3. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. And stay tuned for more future LFM videos, as well as potentially some same time gameplay. So with that, thank you guys and have a good one.